And now more fallout from Alec Baldwin's emotional interview where he detailed his version of what happened on the set of Rust and the moments leading up to the fatal shooting of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins, where Baldwin claims he didn't pull the trigger. Take a look.
She was someone who was loved by everyone who worked with and liked by everyone who worked with and admired.
You felt shock, you felt anger, you felt sadness. Do you feel guilt?
No. I feel that there is, I feel that someone is responsible for what happened, and I can't say who that is, but I know it's not me.
Oh, you know it's not you. Okay, even the media mob is skeptical, with Mika Brzezinski saying the dramatic music was so cringe-worthy. She's right. And remember, an investigation into the shooting is ongoing, and many legal experts are warning that it may have been a mistake for Baldwin to speak out and explaining that his comments could end up being used against him in criminal or civil proceedings. We'll follow that story. And also tonight, out in the great city of Chicago, the trial of hate crime hoaxer Jussie Smollett. Well, that kicked off this week. Prosecutors detailed his alleged efforts to use the staged attack, where the actor said he was targeted by Trump supporters in Chicago as a ploy to demand a higher salary on the show Empire. And we also learned that Jussie Smollett apparently set up a dry run of the fake attack the day before with his two alleged accomplices. Now Smollett is facing 6 counts relating to the false statements he made to police. And don't forget, this scandal is also a media scandal. And it's the media mob, along with Democrats like, Kamala Harris, amplified Smollett's lies with breathless hysteria, despite no facts to ever back up the story. Remember, Kamala Harris tweeted back in 2019, quote, "This was an attempted modern-day lynching. No one should have to fear for their life because of their sexuality or the color of their skin. We must confront this hate." Completely shameless, completely clueless, completely fake news. Here with reaction to all of this, the host of Justice, Judge Jeanine Pirro, along with Fox News contributor Joe Concha. Let's start with what happened with Alec Baldwin, Judge. And I watched him, and Leo 2.0 Terrell, very smart attorney, he's been a civil rights attorney his whole career. First thing he said is there's no way he did that interview without being coached and without being prepared by lawyers. I would have to believe that's probably true. We don't know. And then you got to remember he's an actor. And then you got this whole other side with ABC playing that ridiculous music.
Right.
A woman died here.
Yeah.
Your reaction?
Okay, first of all, there is no doubt in my mind, I would gamble my house on this one, that he was prepped, that they went through many sessions on how he would respond. Number one, there is still a possibility of his being charged criminally. Number two, he is going to be sued up the kazoo by so many people. And number three, he's got a future career he thinks that he's got to worry about. So this was not something he decided to just do on the fly. Let me make one thing clear. The fact that so many weeks have passed since Halyna Hutchins was killed tells me that he has had now a chance to assess everything, make a decision as to what he's going to say, what his story is, and this whole thing about how I'm not responsible, somebody else is. Look, it's his production company. He was in charge of hiring those people who worked on that set, and for him to absolve himself and to somehow claim that he's a victim is contrary to what the facts and the evidence will show in this case ultimately. And his desire to be seen as a victim and as a pathetic guy who looks so horrible is countered by the evidence.
You know, I didn't get a chance. This aired in the hour before my show, Joe Concha, so I only glanced at it. I'm preparing up to the last minute, and I have a great team behind me, and they were able to pull the clips out of what happened. But now that I've had a chance to watch it, I will tell you, Mika Brzezinski is right. It is beyond repulsive, the music that they were playing and, you know, the dramatic way that they produced this when a woman died here.
ABC News should be ashamed, Sean, to play music under that interview. Mika's right. You're right. We're not watching a cheesy crime drama here. This is not what any news organization should do. Again, someone was killed. This was a mother of a little boy, a wife to a loving husband. This ain't unsolved mysteries, okay? And as for Baldwin, the judge is exactly right. He attempted to throw everyone else under the bus, all while somehow playing the victim. Baldwin saying, I didn't pull the trigger. Well, okay, who did? The sheriff in this case is correct. Guns don't fire themselves. Baldwin, when asked, do you feel any guilt? He answers bluntly, no. That's not good. So, look, this was a PR stunt to try to curry public opinion in Baldwin's favor, clearly. And after 90 minutes, we're only left with more questions than answers. And it seems the more this actor speaks, the more questions are raised, Sean.
You know, Judge, I look at the New York Post, The Hate Pretender. This is their cover on the Jussie Smollett case. And he does this dry run, number one. And number two, and scream MAGA while you're hitting me and pull back on your punches. So obviously this was, staged. And then Kamala Harris, as usual, rushing to judgment. This was an attempted modern-day lynching. No one should have to fear for their life because of their sexuality or color of skin. We must confront this hate. Now, I'll say this about Alec Baldwin. Some people may not like it. I stay consistent. Due process, presumption of innocence. Let this play out in a court of law as it will. In this case, the evidence seems overwhelming as this case moves forward and the evidence presented. But, say MAGA while you're hitting me and setting it up, that's about as sick as it gets.
Well, but you see, that is precisely what's going on in America. It is the politicization of the criminal justice system. How much more political can you get than to say that the people who are beating me and trying to lynch me are Donald Trump people, and that way they can create more hate and division. That's the whole point of the Democrat Party right now, is to create division and hatred and false claims. But I'm telling you this, and this is what I've said on my show repeatedly. I believe in the jury system. The jury will get it right. The left and those people in the mainstream media will buy into it, but we don't. We'll see what happens in the end. The truth will bear out.
The evidence is pretty overwhelming, what we've seen so far, Joe, but I don't rush to judgment.
And nor you should, right? But again, we were supposed to believe that Jussie Smollett got the munchies at 2 a.m. instead of calling an Uber. Believe me, I'm a Bears fan who has been to Chicago in January. You're not walking anywhere at 2 a.m. during a polar vortex. And then he gets attacked by two MAGA supporters yelling, "This is MAGA country," with a noose and bleach conveniently in hand at 2:30 in the morning. Yeah, that was totally believable. Yet our media bought it hook, line, and sinker, except for Chicago media, who did their job. The local media did their job here, Sean.
Yep.
That's why you need your own media show. And I know Judge Janine agrees with me.
I do.
Joe stands apart from what I call the cult, the Twitter blue checkmark media mob cult.
Yep.
He's like on the outside of that group. They don't like him. That's a good sign.
Thanks.
All right. Thank
Have
you
a good
both.
weekend.
Take care.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.